Hello, my friends. I am crooked. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can straighten out my camera. I have purchased something new, hopefully to make my live videos a little bit better. Tonight for dinner, I am making my family, chicken and potato soup in the quick cooker. I'm still not straight. Hold on one second. I'm so sorry. Eventually I'll figure this out. Maybe I'm straight, maybe I'm not. Let's go this way some, so that I have more cook space or prep space to show you. All right, that's better. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, when you're doing it all by yourself, you can't see where everybody is in the frame. So tonight I'm making chicken and potato dump and go soup. So I'm going to use my beautiful quick cooker, and we're going to make that happen super fast right now. Let me move this right over here out of the way. Also, I bought a new microphone. So if anybody is out there can tell me if you can hear me better with the microphone, that would be awesome. Hang on, let me come around one more time. Make sure the microphone is all the way in. It is? Okay, awesome. So the very first thing that we're going to do with this dump and go chicken and potato soup is take our chicken. Now, I got 6 chicken breasts at a great price, and so I just took out 3 of them before the video started and put them in a freezer bag and set them aside for another recipe because, as you all know, as you saw the day before yesterday, I am notorious for forgetting to defrost things. So that's okay now, though, because I have my quick cooker, which means it's going to be okay. So I have put those 3 in the bottom of the pan. Now let me wash my hands before I proceed. Sorry, I know that's dull to hear, but I wanted you to see the whole process and how easy this is. So then on top of that, I have 3 potatoes that I'm going to cut up coarsely with my 5-inch Santoku knife. Super easy. I'm just going to chop them up. And it says to leave the skin on, so that's what I'm going to do is leave the skin on. And throw those in. And 2 more to go. So these potatoes have been washed, but that's the extent of what I've done to them prior to turning on the video. So then over here, somebody is passing by the front of my house. Those of you who know my dog know he's alerting me. So I didn't go to school today because, and you didn't hear much from me yesterday because somewhere in the last block of the day yesterday, I started getting a terrible headache. And then I came home from school and I immediately hopped into bed thinking I would take a little nap. Well, that little nap turned into me waking up this morning and still having that headache. So I took the day off from school and went and got myself some Excedrin migraine, which I think is the greatest stuff on earth. And took that this morning and then was much better for the remainder of my day. So I just saw a little bad part on this potato, so I'm going to cut that out. I don't want to eat it. So I highly recommend Excedrin migraine if you are prone to kind of heavier duty headaches. So anyway, that's also why I look like I look, because I didn't get ready to go to school today like I would on a normal day, and just kind of laid around my house today dreaming about Pampered Chef. So there we go. That is all cut up, and you know how I love onions, but here we go. Here's a small onion. Let's chop him up. I am actually going to only give him 4 chops and let the steamer separate the rest because I don't want to cry for you here today. So we've got that smallish onion in there. We're going to open up a bag of baby carrots. It cannot get easier than this. We're going to dump that in. If I can get it open. I don't know. That's an awful lot of carrots. But it said a small bag. And the smallest bag I had other than snack size was 1 pound. So there he is. And then on top of that, we're going to put in, half a teaspoon of garlic salt, which I just lost some of it on my counter. And then a teaspoon of our garlic and herb rub. And it looks like this, if you can see it. It's backwards for you, sorry. I'm going to give it a little more sprinkle of my garlic salt since I lost some of it on the counter. And then on top of that, we are going to, it says to put in 8 cups of chicken broth. So I'm going to open up my chicken broth and just dump it in. This is a 32-ounce jug of chicken broth, which would be 4 cups. And as you know, the liquid in the broth is what's going to make the cooker come to pressure and cook for us. And it's still pouring. There we are, one whole guy in there. And I'm not sure, he might be at max capacity here in a second. So we might only put 6 cups of chicken broth in our soup tonight. Let me come over here. Inside there's a maximum level, and I'm going to not exceed that. Oh, well, it looks like it might work. One never knows, especially when one doesn't cook all that often. All right, we've reached max capacity. I'd say I have about a cup left in there. So that means 7 cups is what would fit in here. And let me close that up and set that aside. And then that's it. So I'm going to use my tongs and move those carrots off so that they're actually in the broth. And then we're set. So let me get my lid. Now, one of the things that I told you last time, you need to make sure that the clouds are going the same direction. In addition to that, you also, I'm not sure if you can see it, but that little button is kind of not flush with the top of the lid. So you need to make sure the button is flush. So make sure you can rub your finger over it and feel it, and that will make this sit properly. So then I'm going to put on my lid. Going to plug in my pot because I had him unplugged all day. I'm going to turn him around to face you, and I'm just going to rotate my little dial over here to poultry, and we're going to cook it for 25 minutes. And this time, I'm going to remember to hit start. So, there he goes. That means he is coming to pressure. My little robot machine over here is going to do his magic and cook my dinner for me. So that was as easy as possible. And then when it comes out, all I have to do is serve it. We're good to go. We have chicken and potato dump soup. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about while I have you on here is a number of years ago, I went to a Pampered Chef show. And this wasn't the one I hosted whenever I was newlywed, in 1999. But it was sometime after that. And I bought a mix and scrape at the show. And I found myself gravitating towards this mix and scrape so often that whenever I went into a big box store, I saw something that I thought looked similar and bought the same thing. So this one is older and made me buy this one. Now, the other night, whenever I was making that beef stroganoff, I had used this one, and then I threw it in the sink, and so I didn't want to use it again. When I opened up the quick cooker, I needed to stir everything around, so I grabbed this guy, and all of a sudden, I pulled him out, and I realized he had some issues. I'm not sure if can you see right here? He has, let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. Anyway, it doesn't want to focus because it wants to focus behind me. He ripped off right here. So then I had to go through my beef stroganoff, fishing out all these little white pieces so that my family didn't eat it. So what was supposed to be simple was not, because I had to take it all out and put it in a separate bowl. And then I fished out, these are just 2 of the big pieces that I kept to show you, but I had to fish fish out all of these pieces. So just because something looks like a Pampered Chef item doesn't mean that it is the same quality as a Pampered Chef item. I would say that these two spatulas have been used equally over the past 10 plus years that I've owned them, whereas this one has no problem. Nothing is even remotely wrong with it. And this one had changed in both shape and has now flaked off in my food, in my family's meal. So I just wanted to share that with you. So just because something looks like a Pampered Chef item doesn't necessarily mean that it is. And actually, I intend to keep this and show it to other people. You know, I am the kind of person, or I was the kind of person that believed, you know, that it was all the same in the kitchen. But now I am a believer. So anyway, that's it for tonight. I will let you know. This guy is still coming to pressure, so my dinner will be ready in, I would say, probably 45 minutes. And that was all the prep that went into it. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Love you guys.